Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, Liberty, Kentucky, FredMcCoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We've started out this morning we're going to do a couple more videos on some things that was emailed to Sheila overnight. And it's unbelievable. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. My back, for years I've criticized having back surgery and said I'd never do it again if I had to do over. But my back surgery, I think maybe it just took time. They said that the pins would have to fill up with bone marrow or whatever. I don't know all that stuff, but my back's doing a lot better. So I found out that exercise, if you'll stretch and do some exercise and move around, worst thing you can do with a back injury or after you have back surgery is just sit around. If you're doing that, you're messing up. I did that for years. And it does hurt, and you are in pain, and you do have spasms, and but you're going to have those if you just sit around. So anyway, how we got on that, I don't know. But
you dropped your glasses.
Went over to pick my glasses up. And if you'll bend over more, and if you'll, everybody says, and it used to do me, I couldn't even go up and down stairs. And go up and down stairs. Go slow, and expect to have some repercussions from it. Expect to be in pain. Bend over, pick things up, bend over. You got to exercise. I found out that I was doing it wrong. After my surgery, I sat, and lately I have been moving more, doing more, and my back, it still hurts, but
you have a TENS unit that you use too that really helps.
Oh, yeah, TENS unit's a lifesaver. Sam and Paris McCoy did not waylay and kill Bill Staten because he testified against Randall McCoy in the hog trial. While we cannot say for certain, the trial records and court documents strongly suggest that they attacked young Bill because he was sneaking across the Tug River to fornicate with their cousin. I'm not even going to say her name. She's a McCoy. Then sneaking back across the river whenever the law came around. No man ever felt his honor to be besmirched over losing a hog, but a man might be pissed that his little cousin was getting mistreated and left to fight the resulting court battles on her own. Bullshit. You ever see that little cartoon on Facebook, that little boy? There's a little boy on there, and they'll say something. If you're ever attacked by a shark, touch them by the nose and spin them around, do that, and then that little boy comes out and says, bullshit, 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 and he keeps on going. That's what this is. This is bullshit. This is, once again, I wish, and it may come to that one day that a person goes to people's family members and, when they talk about fornicate, it's easy for these people to talk. I know I'm getting this, but I'm not going to mention no names. Okay. But it's funny how the very people in life that you could go back to and that have history in their families of fornication, of affairs, different things, is the very people that wants to badmouth and point their finger at other people. No evidence whatsoever. 150 years ago, and we're making, now listen to this one, here's where you go. I was listening to Don Shipley the other day, the guy with the stolen valor, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. I've said this for years. When you hear a man say, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. When you hear a man make that statement to you, okay, I'm going to be honest, then get ready for the biggest lie you've ever heard, because he's getting ready to feed you a line of bull crap. Same way with this. Now, he gives you this first 2 or 3 lines here, and then he says, while I cannot say for certain. If you can't say for certain, why would you want Martha McCoy? He's talking about Martha McCoy. He names Martha McCoy here.
Wow. If
you can't say for certain about somebody fornicating, if you don't have a court document where a person was charged with adultery or fornicating or some of the things that they charged them with back then, if you can't say for a fact, why would you want to badmouth? Why would you want to belittle them? Why would you want to talk against a person that's not here to defend themselves. That woman's not here to say, you're full of crap. I never done that. I was faithful. I done it. Why would you make a statement like that for? Now, if you had proof and you say, here's court documents, here's where she was charged with fornicating, here's where she was charged with adultery, here's where her husband filed divorce papers against her, and he said that she laid with 3 men in the barn. That's evidence. That's court documents. But when you make a statement like that, and then you say, while we cannot say for certain, the trial records strongly, and court documents strongly suggest that they attacked Bill because he was sneaking across the Tug River to fornicate with their cousin. The court records?
That's sad.
I didn't get you at the first time. The court records, the trial records, the court records and documents strongly suggest they attacked Bill because he was sneaking across the river to fornicate with Martha McCoy. Where they at? Where are those court records? Wouldn't that have been a nice place to put in this article that you wrote? Wouldn't that have been a nice place to put down here? Martha McCoy charged with fornicating? Martha McCoy charged with adultery? I'd love to see it. And I wouldn't be on here making a video. I'll tell you, I'm getting ready to name some of these people. I don't care what Sheila says. I'm getting ready to start naming some people. I'm getting ready to name you, and I'm getting ready to tell some family history on people. Because that is sad. You know, that's the same way they done Nancy McCoy and Rosanna McCoy at these plays that they do in Pike County. They do these plays, and they had Rosanna up there drinking moonshine, cussing, Nancy Hatfield, Nancy McCoy, Phillips, cussing, carrying on, wild as a buck. Said she was a hellcat. Hellcat. Married to John C. Hatfield, had children. Married to Frank Phillips, had children. No other man. Died and buried to Frank, beside of her last husband, Frank Phillips. 2 men in her life. Wildcat. Hellcat. Evidence don't say that. The evidence don't show it. One gentleman says, oh, after Frank Phillips died, I don't blame her. She had to make a living. But yet he says Frank Phillips owned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of land. But she had to go into bootlegging. She had to go into making whiskey and selling it. Nancy did. No proof of that. No court records. No evidence. But he spoke that into history. And he wrote it into history. Roseanne McCoy, in love with one man. Fell in love with John C. Hatfield. Yep. Fell in love with him. Head over heels. Loved him.
Yep.
Destroyed her whole family. Destroyed her whole life over one man. They got her up there cussing, carrying on. My brother and I, along with Sheila, contacted them and said, what do y'all have to badmouth Rosanna and Nancy? Nobody's ever said they used God's name in vain. Nobody's ever said they drank moonshine and carried on like that, like y'all have got them doing. They said, prove she didn't. Well, we can't prove she didn't. We don't know that she did or she didn't. But if we don't have no proof either way, why would we want to make her or them look bad? Why would we want to disgrace them and their reputation? They're not here to defend themselves. And this gentleman here does the same thing.
It's sad.
It's something that the very people that's got skeletons in their closets are the very people that make statements. And if anybody should, I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay.
I see you shaking your head. But
okay.
If anybody, I mean, maybe the viewers don't agree with me, but if anybody should be more leery and more careful about slandering somebody else's reputation, it should be somebody that's actually been through it, or their family members have done something in life that embarrassed them or shocked them or upset them. And they think, wow, that was upsetting to me when I was a kid when this happened. I wouldn't want that to happen to nobody. Well, you're doing it to Martha McCoy.
Yep.
With no evidence. Sam and Paris McCoy was in the woods hunting. And when Bill Staten come through, he tried to get the drop on him. He did get the drop. He shot Paris. He shot Paris McCoy, and then Sam McCoy turned around and shot and killed him. He didn't realize that Sam was there. The only person he seen was Paris. And he got the drop on Paris and shot him. He didn't know Sam was there. Sam shot and killed him. I could go on this all day. No man ever felt his honor to be besmirched over losing a hog, but a man might be a little bit pissed off if his cousin's mistreated. You know, I could throw that at somebody else. I could throw that right back. You know, this may have happened in somebody else's life, in real life, that in modern day life. Sad. I'm gonna get off of it because I'm gonna say something that I'll regret.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Then I'd be no better than this person.
Exactly.
Because this is, you know, this is not about these other people. This is about the person that's writing this garbage. That's him. Why would I want to bring other family members of his into it, or other people, over mistakes that was made in life because of something he says? But it's sad that he don't have a come to Jesus moment and think back in his life and think back and see if there's anything in his background or anybody's background that he would rather that didn't have happened. That how would he like it if somebody would make these statements and put them out in public about somebody, and they're true. The other statements would be true. This here is a rumor. Goes on to say, Walt Hatfield had nothing to do with the trials of Sam and Paris McCoy. No, Hatfield did. Had nothing to do with them. It was part of the short-lived Staten-McCoy feud, not the Hatfield-McCoy feud. Isn't it something, people, how people, I hope I don't do that. I hope Sheila and I don't do that. You know, the only people that we really attack is Devil Anse Hatfield, that we really go after. His boys, Cap and Johnsy. Sorry, that battery went dead, guys. Johnsy and Cap were sons, trying to please their father. My dad could have asked me to have done anything in the world. I would have done it. I would have done anything to please my father. That's just some children's like that. Some children could care less about their parents. I can relate to Johnsy and Cap because they wanted to please their dad. Their dad, on the other hand, wasn't worth the matter that he was made out of. He really wasn't. He cared about nobody except himself. That's proven. That's, if you look psychologically, physiologically, everything there is about that, you can look in any kind of, if you've ever had Psychology 101, then that's Devil Anse Hatfield with little man syndrome and a narcissist, Napoleon. That's him. And, you know, we're rough on Devil Anse. I'm never going to let up on Devil Anse. Devil Anse was a coward, and he's not worth, there's nothing worthy to say of him. I see where people said, oh, he joined church. Oh, that's great. I'm glad he did, and I hope he's in heaven. Hope he is. But he still went to his grave with, and we're going to discuss that in a minute. Somebody sent us another paper on that. He went to his grave with murder warrants on him. So he joined church and wanted to do the right thing.
That's good.
But he went to his grave with murder warrants. But on this person right here, Walt had nothing to do with the trials of Sam. Walt Hatfield had everything to do with the trial. There was no trial. Walt Hatfield had everything to do with the charges. Walt Hatfield had everything to do with it. He charged them with it. And when he investigated it, he found out that
self-defense.
Yep. Bill Staten shot Paris. One of the men was shot.
Yeah.
And Squirrel Hunting Sam shot Bill. No Hatfield had anything to do with this trial or this case, he says. Had nothing to do with them. It was part of the short-lived Staten and McCoy. What Staten and McCoy feud? See, we just got spoke into history. A Staten and McCoy feud. Yep. Staten and McCoy feud. That's what he writes. That's written into history right there, forevermore. When somebody reads that, they're going to think, oh, there was a Staten and McCoy feud. It wasn't no feud. Bill Staten lied in court as to the ownership of the pig, and there was hard feelings over it. That's not a feud. That's hard feelings. People has hard feelings every day over, you cut me off in traffic, I've got hard feelings towards you. You didn't pay the rent this month, I got hard feelings. That's not a feud. Look in the dictionary under feud, my friend. my well-educated friend. Look under feud, see what feud is, and you'll see that's not a feud. It's funny that these people use this stuff
Lightly or
whenever they want. It's funny that once upon a time, Walt Hatfield, he can represent them, and he's the justice of the peace. Oh, they're all justice of the peace. All the Hatfields, Matt Hatfield, Walt Hatfield, Preacher Ants Hatfield, the Hatfields own Blackberry Creek, the Hatfields owned Logan County, the Hatfield. Come on, guys, own it. Either they did or they didn't. You can't have it both ways. One minute say all the Hatfields held office, they did that, but then when it comes to something like this, say the Hatfields, they didn't take care of this court case. Because they did. Guys, I've drug it out long enough. This was a sad when we read this about the fornicating and throwing it toward they were mad at Bill Staten because he was fornicating with a McCoy woman more than they were mad at him over the pig. That's written in the history in 2023. We just got it. I don't know when it's been written, but don't have no date on it. But
sad.
It's Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum.
Not right. Not right at all. That's very sad that they would say that against this woman who can't defend herself like he said. Shame. Okay. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you, guys.